Jason, Gen Z is ditching something, and it's something that you might not expect. Something around this area of here.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling up their sleeves.
It is rolling up their sleeves. They are ditching rolling up their sleeves. No, it is not that. And the thing we're talking about today is that Gen Z is ditching something, and they are ditching booze for sober-centric hubs in New York City. Shocked people are in here having fun without alcohol. So,
That's like
yes.
that's like 20 people.
That's like 20. That's like 20 people. Yes, Gen Z is
Not
ditching.
about many.
Gen Z is ditching booze essentially.
20 of them.
So yeah, Zoomers want a wild night on the town. They won't wake up regretting. So a lot of people don't like hangovers. That's already fair. So yes, Gen Z is drinking alcohol far less than previous generations, a trend that has been holding steady for the past 4 years. Data shows.
So I have a different opinion on this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I think it's because Gen Z is too young.
Really, I have a way different opinion than
They're
you
not
on this
old
one.
enough to buy alcohol. Not all Gen Z can buy alcohol.
Yeah, that's okay. That's one take. That's one take. I get it. Okay, I can kind of get
It's
behind
like
that.
Gen Z can't is not drinking enough alcohol. It's like, yeah, they're not old enough to legally purchase it.
So, okay, so the thing,
They're still in high school or whatever.
so the thing is, yeah, they are they're literally drinking far less than previous generations. Instead, young adults are getting their social fixes at sober-friendly gathering hubs and alcohol-free bars that have been sprouting up throughout the Big Apple in recent years to accommodate what some are saying is a sign of changing times. I actually have a different opinion from yours, and I
Really?
will say it, but I will say it after you
Okay.
consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button. We come out with interesting videos like this all the time. We have a huge library of videos just like this. And the thing is that subscribing really does help out the channel. So my opinion is that it is too expensive in
Too
this
expensive.
in this economy to socially drink outside.
They're going to some other place
Yeah,
to
but they're
to
not
drink.
they, not
That's a
alcoholic. Alcoholic, you
that's a
can. It's
business.
like $8 for a beer.
Yeah, but what are they doing there? Like they're doing
So
something.
look what they're doing. Look at this.
I
Gen
mean,
Z
they
is
must
drinking far
be.
less from previous generations were 2 decades ago.
I mean, they have to like be paying for that building somehow.
So the thing is that what they
The
mentioned, I think
snacks.
their generation is very aware. Like a lot of us are activists, and they think that awareness influences their drinking habit. This was said by a 22-year-old. The post last week as he painted figurines at a Brooklyn game night in Industry City. So they're doing other things out there. They said you think we drink more with all the stuff we're hearing about the world constantly? You think we'd want a distraction, but I think our phones are a distraction enough, so we don't need as much alcohol.
So they're saying that the phones are not. I mean, he's painting figurines. Like
Mhm.
figurines cost money,
Figurines do cost money. So,
and paint costs money, and the brushes cost money, and the store costs. I don't
yeah, so there was about 15 people enjoying a Thursday night at a board game hub.
know.
And the thing is, which doesn't serve alcohol to its patrons, though it doesn't mind if they bring in booze from other bars located in Industry City. The owner here noted that customers run the gamut from early 20s to their early 50s, but has noticed that the younger crowds drink far less than their older counterparts. Which I would say that kind of tracks because that is not to say that uh, Gen Z gamers are totally sober, but could have an overall healthier relationship with alcohol compared to older Americans. Yes,
I mean, they're in the gym more.
they are in the gym more. So they said when people of the previous generation think of drinking, they think of binge drinking, they think of going to bars, slamming back 12 drinks and
That
being
seems like a
hammered
lot.
the next night. They think the idea of cracking open a six pack before they go to bed. This was said by a 26-year-old who was one of the few sipping a cocktail at the Sunset Park Gaming Club. they mentioned one thing I will say, part of it is different contemplation of drinking. I will have a drink or two, but I don't go out with the intention of drinking. So they're just not going out and being like, I'm gonna go get drunk, I'm gonna go to a bar, they're going literally to like
I don't know. This is like a very specific like test group. And it's like,
look at look at this guy painting his figurine.
I mean, that's like a very go to the club with a bunch of Gen Z people there and ask them like, "Are you drinking?" It's like, "Hell yeah, we're drinking."
Do you think they're drinking far less? Okay, so this is the other thing I thought about
It's like,
is
hey, of all the Gen Z people at this specific
at this specific
this
place.
specific game store, are you drinking? It's like,
No, they're obviously not drinking, or they if they're drinking one or two. But the other thing that I was thinking is because we did a story before on wine.
oh,
Yeah,
wine going down.
yeah, the sales of wine are going down, and the sign wine sales are going down, but spirit sales are going up.
Yeah,
And a lot of it was due to the amount of
Change,
people,
changing the market.
the changing in the market. And I do generally assume that wine is typically for the older generation, and not a lot of people are drinking.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
very like. I mean, besides like champagne or something like that, that's I wouldn't consider that to be the hippest thing to do.
yeah.
If you're going to a bar, you're not going to be drinking champagne or not. You're not going to be drinking like a glass of wine.
So, a couple of other things that they do say here is that Zoomers are drinking far less than previous generation, a trend that has remained steady for 4 years. That was a new data from the National Institute on Drug Abuse shows. The shift is impacting even the youngest Gen Z, with teenagers choosing to abstain from substance abuse, in which the NIDA called unprecedented in droves. Roughly 38% of adults under the age of 35 say they never drink, a 10% surge compared to 2 decades ago, according to the 2023 Gallup survey.
Wait, go on. Roughly 30 under the age of 35 said say they never drink.
Mhm.
I mean, that's like 35 is also millennial.
That is also
I was
millennial.
like, these stats are all over the place.
They're all over the place.
What do you mean?
They say younger adults are less likely to have even just one drink per week compared to other age cohorts. On the other hand, drinking has surged among adults aged 55 or older, going from 49 to 59% over the span of 20 years. So yeah,
They're
they're getting the harder stuff, by
they're
the way.
drinking Mai Tais on their cruise.
They
They're out
are.
there
They're on
partying it up.
they're retired.
They're
They're
retired.
retired with
What do you
their
mean?
houses that have appreciated 3 times over.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So researchers have not pinned down an overwhelming cause for the
I don't
decrease in
know.
alcohol consumption, but noted that the drops seemingly sprouted during the pandemic. Um, what is it? This 28-year-old was one of many who gave up alcohol during the pandemic after what she views as overindulgence. Do you think this is a lot of drink? This is probably protein shake or something.
No, definitely a drink.
Yeah, so they do mention that, and they go over a couple of their comments on why they don't drink and things like that. But overall, I think that it is interesting to see that they're saying that they're not drinking as much as older generations, even with all the things happening. But now you have access to more things like phones, games, a lot more things, and people age
Online
55 and
gamble.
over.
What is it? CS:GO skin gambling.
CS:GO skin
That's what
gambling,
I. That's where I get
opening
my
crates.
thrills.
My whole thing is like I do think it's
What
too expensive to drink.
to drink?
Like, and in a social setting. What,
I don't know.
it's $16 for a drink, you get two, it's
What else are you gonna
$32.
do?
No, in this economy,
You're gonna go. I mean, there's other things like okay, think about it this way: like a milk tea costs like
it's like
six,
$7.
seven
You're not
dollars.
drinking two milk teas though.
I mean, you're probably drinking like if you're drinking milk tea, you're probably drinking more than one a week.
If you look at you look at this, I'm scrolling up. Look at this drink.
Yeah,
You get way more in a milk tea than you get in this.
maybe.
You mean that's 100% true. People are probably opting out for what is it, these things compared to other drinks, non-alcoholic drinks. Maybe they don't like the hangover. Maybe they don't like spending the money, or maybe it's something else.
They get sick from it.
They get sick from it. Yeah, it could be that. But overall, it's like if they're drinking less, it's
I
I
just
mean,
think that the
maybe they're going to the gym more.
they're probably going to the gym more.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think the whole study's kind of weird,
Yeah,
especially that 35 thing. 30 people in their 30s are
they're
not
millennials. Yeah, they're
millennials.
millennials. Yeah.
So you're saying that millennials are also
Roughly, yeah,
they're
roughly 38% of adults under the age of
I mean,
35 say they never drink
so it's people between the ages of 21
to
and
35. Yeah.
unless you're counting people in elementary school to high school to
Oh
college,
no. No,
like
100% not.
people who are 5 years old are saying they're never gonna drink.
Yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting to see, but
Crazy.
it did remind me of the wine and spirits
I think the wine one makes more sense. It's like a changing of
the taste.
interest. Like, well, they're the taste buds and
On
kind of like
the
what it is.
on the other hand, drinking has surged among adults age 55 and older by 10%.
Yeah,
They're
there's a lot.
drinking, they're really drinking out there.
I mean, they're probably more stressed. I mean, they're getting closer and closer to retirement, and then it's getting more and more difficult for people to get to retirement, and people don't have enough money saved.
Yeah, there was someone in here that comments that it's they typically have alcohol is typically associated with just dulling of the senses.
Mm,
So it might be they might it also that might also be a factor. It's like people are becoming just more knowledgeable of what they like or their preferences and things like that, and they're like, ah,
yeah.
this just isn't for me. Um, my whole thing is just in this economy.
I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like it just always is a very expensive hobby, or more not hobby, but like thing
Yeah,
to do.
it's an expensive thing to do outside. So, yes, I'd like to know from our audience what they think about this, what they think about the study that was done, or just in general, if they know people that aren't drinking, or yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section down below.